All right, so hopefully everybody got signed in, and we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to give a lot of detailed information, so hopefully I won't go too fast, and don't bore you guys to death with this stuff. But I'm looking forward to maybe sharing some information that'll help you help individuals in your community. So we'll go ahead and get started. So what is LIS? Obviously, LIS stands for Low Income Subsidy, but it's also known as Extra Help. LIS is a federal subsidy program that helps low-income Medicare-eligible consumers. It does save on their prescription drugs, and keep in mind that LIS is not Medicaid. So Medicaid applications are through your Michigan Bridges. LIS applications are through Social Security. So LIS are able to enroll throughout the year, and I'll mention those limits in a few slides. LIS impacts prescription drug costs, specifically your premiums, your deductibles, and your copays. I have this chart. It's available online. You probably can't read it too well where it comes into the yearly, but monthly income for individuals I listed there for you, $1,615 for individuals and $2,175 for couples. Also, there are resources that are allowed for individuals, and they can still qualify. Those resources include like money in their checking and savings accounts, stocks, bonds, real estate. They can have a home for obviously their homes for their primary residence. The resources that don't count are like they can own one car, a burial plot, and up to $1,500 for burial expenses, like your final expense, furniture, household, personal items, stuff of that nature. For yearly income on a single income, I guess you want to keep that number for recording purposes. Single income is up to $19,140, and for married income, it's $25,860. And again, it's on this chart that's available. If you don't have an intake client form or a worksheet, I just kind of put this up here as an example so you can have one to list it for beneficiaries that you might be talking to. This is just a quick, reminder for information that you want to gather. The records that you'll need for your consumers to go ahead and see what kind of income or savings that they have. All right, so what exactly do you need to know to determine if a client is going to fall in that LIS category? As their agent, you need to have a direction on what coverage to start looking into. So obviously you're going to need to know their client's name, date of birth, their Medicare number, if they have Medicaid, their Medicaid number, their present coverage if they have that, and then their monthly, yearly income. So just to kind of touch some of the carriers, carriers have obviously your agent services, and when you call that phone number, they will have a dedicated line to let you know what their Medicaid or extra help cost sharing is. I do know that Priority just sent out an email saying that they have this line open. A couple of the other ones are WellCare, Molina, Humana, and United Healthcare all have that line available to help you determine if somebody is on LIS or on Medicaid. So how do people apply for LIS? Obviously, you can apply over the phone or request a paper application. I put some websites on here that people can also start the application process. You can also go on Medicare.gov, but that because of the fact that they've changed that and you have to have a sign-in and password now, it's a little harder to guide your potential members. So there are these links that are a little bit easier for them. So as I mentioned, there was a couple of those websites. So I went ahead and just kind of give you a brief example of what one looks like. So on this site, you'll see that it looks, pretty self-explanatory. You go down to the bottom and you click on that Apply Now button. That starts, your application process. You continue through it until it's all completed. Now, I want to make sure that people keep in mind the election periods for LIS, and we'll kind of brush on those in a couple more slides. But usually when you do your application, you can hear back within 24 hours, but to keep it safe, you want to say within 2 to 6 weeks. If your consumer qualifies, obviously they're able to enroll quarterly throughout the whole year up to October 1st. So you can make a change during AEP, but it has to be effective January 1st. The late enrollment period is an amount that is added to your Part D premium if you do enroll late. So if at any time after your enrollment period is over, there is a period of 63 or more days in a row that you have not had your Part D or credible prescription drug coverage, you may owe a late penalty. And just to keep in mind, that penalty is 1% for every month that you didn't have that credible coverage. So when you're going through that application process, this is one of the pages that will come up, and it'll kind of show you what you need to have or the information that maybe your beneficiary might need to have. So you can gather that information or let your member know so your appointments go a little bit smoother and they're ready to have that. Now, when you're on these appointments, some people might not have or find their Social Security award letter, but if you can have them show maybe the last 2 months of their bank statements, that would work as well when they're submitting those documents for their application process. So now, depending on the percentage that they qualify for, and we'll get into those percentages, you can either qualify 100% LIS, 75, 50, or 25%. Now, depending on that coverage, up to $32.91 in Michigan. So the amount will be applied to your prescription portion of the MAPD premium cost or towards the PDP premium. Hopefully, you guys, if you have questions on those, definitely reach out to, us here at IAD, and we'll kind of go through that more extensively on the carrier's perspective. So, why would you even be interested in knowing what LIS is? Well, obviously, depending on their levels, it will go ahead and cover their Part B premium. So you've now just given your beneficiaries a raise of $144.60 if it's covering their Part B premium. With a fixed income, that's going to help a lot of people, and they don't even know it's available out there. So, it's important to know your enrollment periods. If you don't have a chart with your enrollment periods, we have a chart that's available for our contracted agents. You can email me for that chart or get your contracts. If you have your contracts with us, you can access all of our job aids, or like I call them, our cheat sheets. They're important to have as references. Obviously, the coverage for your average premium is about $32.91. And then, I went ahead and put, it also covers through the donut hole, but we won't get into that detail too much. I did go ahead and provide this LIS reference slide. Some of the carriers will categorize them as a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So I think it's helpful for you guys to kind of just get a brief overview of what is available, how it's explained, how these people get on those levels. So with all this information, I just kind of made a brief little chart for you, something as simple as this. Yes, all of that was written kind of comes down to this nice little job aid. When the consumer qualifies for extra help or LIS, they will have a reduced prescription cost. So just kind of keep that in mind on when you are seeing your prescription drug plans or your premium costs. So here's an example. I just took a real quick screenshot of somebody that's on a level 4 LIS. Obviously, if you were a level 3, that pays for 100% of your LIS, and you would literally see $0 for that monthly premium. I don't know if you guys have any kinds of questions on these. You can go ahead and do price checks if you are wanting to see the differences between the levels of LIS. This presentation was hopefully just to give you a review of the information that's out there and highlighting important rules or information that will help you sell. You don't have to know all the ins and outs or be their caseworker, but to at least know the direction to find the answers. You can always, contact us here at IAD. We're very supportive on any kinds of questions or research. Always, if you have questions on the carrier plans and how it works, we're here for that too. So if there are any kinds of questions, go ahead and put those up here. So I have one: are agents allowed to apply for LIS for their clients? Can agents only assist them? So yes, agents can only assist individuals to apply for LIS. And also I want to make a point: when you call the carrier lines to see the level that your beneficiary is in, they'll tell you if they're like a full dual, a full Medicaid, or they get extra help and what level that is. A lot of the carriers will require that member to be present. So that is something to keep in mind. Well, hopefully I didn't bore you guys. I gave you some information to kind of get you thinking and asking questions. I want to thank everyone for attending and taking the time to learn how you can help people that need this help and don't even know this help is available. Again, keep in mind some of the carriers that have experience, they're good with the brokers, they're good at explaining to the customers how this works, and they guide them through. Obviously, you have your Molina, your Humana, Priority, and United Healthcare. They all provide those kinds of plans. So hopefully this helped everybody. If there's any questions that you have, please email me. I appreciate your guys' time, and be safe out there, and talk to you guys soon. Thank you.